Hey folks, Quill18 here, bringing you another segment of our Let's Play Civ 5, where I'm playing as India and going for a 3-city cultural win. I did have some audio problem with this recording. I finished it about a week ago, but the first 12.5 minutes of the audio got lost, got chopped off, and then everything else got moved up, so I had to spend a bunch of time resyncing the audio, and now I'm having to re-record the first 12.5 minutes as a voiceover. So unfortunately, I won't be having direct control of the screen at this point, so I'm going to have to guess to see what I was trying to point out at the time. It's been a little while since I played it, but hopefully it works just as well. And yeah, at 12.5 minutes in, my first-person commentary will kick back in, so please be patient, and we'll get to that very shortly. So, when we last left things off, things had been going pretty well. We got a lot of trade going on. I thought, made friends with everyone just by, being excellent trading partners. But then, randomly, Egypt, along with Mongolia, decided to declare war on me. So, one of the things that a few people had pointed out in comments, and I didn't really click for me, was the idea that opening borders would allow people to see that I had a weak military and would prompt them to attack me. And that was not the case in the original versions of Civ, including like Civ 4. Everyone sort of just knew everyone's power level and could react accordingly, but apparently in Civ 5 that is a thing. So I'll probably still be confused about it later on in the recording, but I've since done research and that's indeed the case. And I've got to sneeze. Okay, I got to the mute button just in time. So here I am trying to plot out my defenses at this point. I have either military units. Yeah, I've got cannons building in Delhi and Mumbai, and I have walls building in my third city. Yeah, turned off the resource icons here so I could more clearly see the military units. Now, at first, actually, I'm a little paranoid about my eastern flank here until I realized I don't actually have any enemies here. I've got sort of a buffer between myself and Egypt. Oh, here I was going to see if Askia would be willing to declare war on Egypt or something and help me out. What do you want for this? Nope, no way to make this deal work. Okay. You're too squishy. He's too strong. Alright, that's fine. So no way to relieve the pressure. But yeah, so I've got a nice buffer, so these units don't actually have to be here, and I think I'm going to be pulling them over to the western border. Basically, all of the fighting is... Oh, there's a Keshik there that's going after Delhi. I'm going to wake up my longswordman and go after him. Because he's quite low, I'm easily going to be able to squish him. Also, and I actually don't even realize this at first, I have considerable bonuses to fighting within my territory because of my social policies and also because of World Wonder that I built. So, as long as the fighting occurs within my borders, I'm going to crush people. But if I try to step out, I'm probably going to get crushed, considering they have a much, much bigger military than I do. Now, luckily, I do have some allies on this continent, like Monaco here is allied with me. So Genghis Khan is being distracted by scrapping with him. It looks like Monaco's units have been killed at this point, but that's okay. They've done their job. They're buying me a turn or two. I have no idea what I'm indicating with the mouse here. And look, we have a mouse this time, totally randomly. I have not changed any settings. Last recording, no mouse cursor. This recording, we get a mouse cursor. So, yeah, this software is just wonky. I'm definitely going to have to try to figure out if I can get Fraps running with this game again. I think when I was testing Fraps, I may have been doing it with DirectX 11 as opposed to DirectX 9. So, hopefully, performance will be a little bit better than it was before. So, I'm trying to remember what I was doing here. I think I'm just building a defensive line at this point, trying to make sure there's no easy way for anyone to come through. So I want on the western bank of Bangalore, I need to defend against Mongolia, and on the eastern bank, I need to defend against Egypt. Egypt, of course, much bigger threat. They have a much bigger empire, much better military, more advanced military as well, which I will discover as this goes on. They have a lot of musketmen, and well, that's Ragusa, who has riflemen. No, those are musketmen. Okay. I'm at war with Ragusa, but I do have an alliance with Seoul. So Seoul is going to be picking away at Giza and generally annoying them, and again, working to help distract people. Mongolia is attacking Monaco still. I don't think they're going to get anywhere, although Monaco is starting to get a little bit low. I don't remember, but I think I actually had to intervene. I think I had to walk in there and attack. Now, luckily, excuse me, I'm doing this first thing in the morning. Oh, I'm terribly rude. Excuse me. But luckily, Mongolia is weakening all his units by bashing it against Monaco, so I think I'm going to move up here. Oh, I move up with my crossbow, so I'll be able to take some shots there. This pikeman, I think I leave on this hill. It's a nice fortified location. He's not a great unit. I mean, he's good against any mounted units, but that is all. Okay, so I finished the wall in Bangalore, which means I can now build a Mughal fort, which I think is what I'm going to build next. Again, this is another building that gives a defense. It'll give me +9 defense rating in Bangalore. It also gives me +2 culture for turn, so it lets me sort of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, improve my defenses while also buffing my culture, because I am going for a culture win. In theory, I mean, in practice, maybe I've been too slow, too unoptimal with it. It's my first time trying for it, and it's actually only my second full game of Civ 5, so obviously have a lot of learning still left to do. Wow, my voice is really all screwed up. Hopefully the the actual first-person recording is going to be much, much better. Okay, here I'm trying to decide what to do with this knight. I could attack a couple of targets, but it puts me extremely vulnerable to a counterattack. So I decide against it. In fact, I move right here, which means I'm out of range of any direct attack, and anyone who comes towards Bangalore will then be within range of my knights, so my knights can safely attack them and be relatively free of retaliation. I think my long swordmen here are going to steal this worker. Now, I have no intention of keeping the worker because I have enough right now. My empire's pretty developed. I don't even, I think I've got 2 workers remaining, and they're not doing much. So I definitely don't want any more, which will just increase my upkeep. So what I'm going to be doing is moving the units into my territory and then disbanding them there. Because if you disband a unit within your territory, you actually get a little bit of gold from it. So, I don't know, maybe I should have just disbanded him instantly to save the maintenance, but I think I ended up making slightly more gold by waiting the extra turn and then disbanding him. I'm pretty sure it works out better. So, I think at this point, yeah, I'm cruising around trying to see what other city-states might be available for bribery. There are no more cultural city-states on this continent, I believe. So I'm trying to decide the best thing to spend my money on, because I could bribe some people, but it would be important that I bring people into alliance. Just a friendship is not enough, because I want war partners. And, the alternative is I could be spending the gold to rush units or buildings, and to do upgrades. And I think ultimately I decided to save my money for unit upgrades, because I am going to be advancing my technology at some point, and I will want to make sure that my military units are the latest and greatest, because it's pretty relevant right now. Unfortunately, I don't have the research screen open, so I don't know what I'm researching right this second. Don't know if it's a military tech yet or not. Hissia is going to bombard my longswordmen as I approach. But Hissia is kind of vulnerable. It's cut off from the rest of the Empire. I could certainly move some units up that way. And at the very least,
wars may be fought with weapons,
Genghis
but
Khan.
they are won by men.
Okay, military science just finished, which gives me cavalry, the military academy, and the Brandenburg Gate. Now, I'm not too interested in 2 buildings, but the cavalry is quite cool, especially since I can upgrade my knights from it. And it's a strength 25 unit, which is considerable. I don't remember what the knight is. I think it may be strength 18. I'm not sure, but at strength 25, I believe that'll be my strongest troop yet. I'm going to bombard some Egyptian knights here from Bangalore. Kaboom. I'm actually firing missiles at them because of my technology level. But they don't actually do that much damage. One sec here. Okay, awfully sneezy this morning. Looks like I've just sold back the worker. And now what? Oh, time to do some upgrading. I've got this knight. There's no immediate fighting he has to do, so I can sacrifice a turn to upgrade him. Takes about half my gold, but that's perfectly fine. Definitely the best use of it. Oh, there's another knight. I'll be upgrading him as well. Oh, I can't quite. Takes slightly too much. And I still have these troops on this border, and I think it could be that at this point is when I realize I really don't need these units to be here. Yeah, I'm going to start moving them, because there's no point in having them here at all. And I would much rather have them on the front. Boy, it's going to teach me not to do commentaries first thing in the morning. Blah. Alright. So we're going to fire at these pikemen. Actually finish them off, which is always quite nice. And we should be able to steal a win against this horseman right here. It does put me in range of Beshbalik. So I'll probably take some bombardment in return, but as long as he doesn't have too many units around, and I was pretty sure he didn't, I should be able to get out of there more or less safely. And I'm wiggling my mouse around, I don't even know why. Oh, I'm going to be pillaging the mine right here to prevent them from being able to build quite quickly. Seemed worthwhile. I have no intention of claiming Hysia, so just destroying their resources seems like a good way to go. I normally avoid doing that because if I'm going to be stealing the city, I don't want it to be, you know, weakened by plunder. But good move in this case, I think. Now, luckily, my cities still have a huge population base, so they're individually able to produce quite well, despite the fact that I have fewer cities than my opponents. We got some Egyptian musketmen here, threatening my pikemen, but I think I'm going to keep them up there on the hill. Next turn, I'll have my cavalry available too, so my hope, I think, is even if I lose the pikemen, the musketmen will be weakened, and I can finish them off with the cavalry. But my pikemen are fortified on a hill, they've got a good defensive bonus, plus my empire-wide stuff. Ooh, second musketmen go in. Luckily, they won't be able to attack right away. And I lose 3 hit points, but the musketmen actually lose 7, so that comes out extremely favorable for me. I'm a little worried about that second musketman now that I've been weakened, though. Long swordmen take a little bit of hit from Beshbalik, but nothing they can't handle.
There never was a good knife made of bad steel.
And I get a research agreement that completes, and that gives me metallurgy. Now, I believe this only unlocks Lancer. This is not a technology I was actually interested in, per se. It may be the prereq for something relevant. But yeah, the Lancer, the problem with the Lancer is it has no upgrades. If you convert your units to a Lancer, that's it. You're done. You are stuck with the Lancer for the rest of the game, which I think is quite stupid. And as I recall, in Civ 4, there were a couple of cases like that, maybe with special units, like Civilization-specific units, and they eventually got around to fixing that. So hopefully they'll do the same thing with the Lancer, because it's stupid that it can't be upgraded. I believe the Cavalry still has an upgrade path. I don't know. Unless that whole thing ends with Lancer, and it's like, that is your last horse-based unit, so you never get to upgrade to anything. Alright, do I have any units that are just fortified that I'm not giving actions to? Well, the pikemen, actually I'm quite happy that you're there and fortified. You just keep tanking the damage. Meanwhile, the cavalry, can we attack this one? No, we can attack this one. Puts us in range of the city and makes us vulnerable to cavalry. We can actually fire from here because, oh yeah, we're going to get considerable attack from this flank. I will apply the damage to the musketmen because they're probably one of the more dangerous units. That's pretty good. And we should move our crossbowmen. I don't think we've got any units within range to attack. No. So we'll move our crossbowmen to just the other side of the river here. Or in the city, actually. Yeah, let's go in the city. Since we still can't shoot anyone here. Okay, I'll keep moving down with my pikemen. It's a little exposed on flat land. And I can be fired on by the city, so no, I guess I'll end my turn on the hill. This knight can be upgraded to cavalry. Hooray! This longswordman will keep you moving this way. Come on. Okay. And what to do with this guy? What to do? Okay, what's the strength on musketmen?